Come with me, I'm headed down the right path. I feel so brave, my head held high and I'm showing class. Dreams ignited, every day I truly give my best. I'm thriving excitedly to be the very best version of myself. I'm so bold and I'm so brilliant. I feel amazing, I feel so resilient. I'm so bold and I'm so brilliant. Feel so amazing, I feel so resilient.
Get to know Summer Owens, speaker, consultant, and life coach, who's excited to promote her new book, 100 Lessons My Centenarian Grandmas Taught Me. Summer Owens, welcome to the Chundria Show. How are you today?
Thank you. I am great. I'm great. Excited to be here. Really happy to talk to you.
Oh, same here for sure. Well, let's dive on in. You've got your latest publication, 100 Lessons My Centenarian Grandmas Taught Me, has received a lot of praise. Can you share what inspired you to write this book?
Absolutely. So I'm a grandma's girl, and my grandmothers have been a very special part of my life. Especially since I turned 15, I became a teen mom, and I was able to beat the statistics that most teen moms face, and I really had a lot of success in my life, and it was because of the support of my grandmothers. And I've been really, really blessed to have them for a long time. I had one lived to be 102, and the other one was just short of her 98th birthday, and they died 5 days apart. So last month, it was March 29th, I lost the first one, and April 3rd, I lost the other one, and they were both transitioning at the same time. And it was very hard, as you can imagine. It was very, very hard, but I said, I'm a woman of faith, and I said, okay, God, why are you doing this to me right here together? And I know I'm a writer, I'm a storyteller. I actually wrote books with both of them 5 and 6 years ago. And I said, I'm supposed to do something with this. I know I'm supposed to do something with this. I've learned a lot from them over my lifetime. And I said, with losing them, I don't want to lose the lessons that they've taught me. And I know that it can really bless some other people. This is a way for me to honor them. And so I got busy, and it really helped me to grieve the loss of my grandmothers. And so that's what inspired me to write this book.
Absolutely beautiful. I love that you have your connection to your grandmothers, and that's going to live in your heart forever. What do you hope readers will take away from this journey that you've taken them on?
Sure. I'm a speaker. I'm a youth speaker. Primarily, I speak in colleges and universities and to youth groups. I have curriculum that's in schools across the country. And so I'm very passionate about young people learning how to make smarter choices and to lean into the wisdom of elders. And so from this specific book, I want them to honor and respect elders in their lives, the grandparents in their lives, and other people who have that wisdom, and for them, young people, to understand that the wisdom is there, and for them to, like I said, to really respect that. Because I think we lack that. A lot of young people, and young being, as young as me, even at 45, I'm still young. And I think that even up to our age and even older, that we don't respect and honor the wisdom of our elders as much as we could. And so that's one thing that I really want people to take away from it, is that these people have lived lives and they know more than we know, and that there's so much that we should get from them, but there's also so much that we should give to them and honoring them while they're still here, and then even after we leave them.
For you talked about wisdom, right, from your grandmothers that they passed down to you. Let's talk about those values and those memories and how those lessons have influenced your journey into adulthood, both personally and professionally.
Sure, and I'll have to show the book, because I think about it. What was really, really special that I know that was unique in this situation, why I knew I had to write the book too, was because I knew. You said you didn't know your paternal grandparents. I knew it was something really special for me, because a lot of people don't know their grandparents or don't have that relationship with their grandparents. And I was really, really blessed to know both, even my grandfathers. I lost them both a long time ago though, but I knew both of my grandmothers. I had really close relationships with my grandmothers, and I had them both almost 100 years, one over 100 years and one almost 100 years. And so it was so much that I did get from them. And how I actually frame the book, I speak on confidence, resilience, leadership, and life. And so in the book, I have 25 lessons on each. So 25 on confidence, 25 on resilience, 25 lessons on leadership, and 25 lessons on just living life. And so those are the lessons that I talk about. Like I said, 25 of each in the book, but they were strong women. So that's my main thing. And my brand is So What? And I teach people how to say so what to whatever challenges they face. And so now what? How to move on from those challenges. And so the core of the book is just about these strong women and how they endured so much in life that is instilled in me. So when I even think about my life and the things that I go through, that most of us do, in living our lives, I think about how they dealt with those situations and moving through life in spite of poverty and sickness and challenges with children and challenges with family and all those different things and how we can deal with those. And so that's really what I really want people to take from it too. Those lessons on how can you be strong and how can you get through life and all these challenges in life, and how can you live life to the fullest. And both of them, like I said, live to exactly an average of 100 years, the two of them. How can you live a long, happy, prosperous life in spite of all the challenges that will come in life?
Sure. I know your grandmas are smiling and so proud of you and proud of the work that you're doing, especially in their name and in their honor. You mentioned your So What Foundation, where your mission is to empower the next generation, which is evident in your writing and your public speaking ventures. Why do you believe it's important to pass down these values and this wisdom to the younger generation?
I believe the children are the future. And that's true. I mean, it's a song and it may sound trite, but that's absolutely the truth, is that, and we can see it in the decline in our society. If we don't invest in young people and teaching them their value and self-respect and helping them to be more confident, helping them to be more resilient, then we're all doomed. We all suffer when young people don't have hope and they don't aspire to do great things in life. It affects us all. And so I'm just really passionate about helping young people to be more resilient and to see they can do and become anything that they want in life if they can learn how to make smart choices and lean into the wisdom of people who've been there, done that, and want to see them succeed. And so that's why I am a speaker and I speak in colleges and universities. And I also established a So What Foundation, which is based here in Memphis, where we work with youth here in Memphis. So I think that's why it's important to me, is because I'm a mom too. I'm a mom, I'm a grandmother as well. And it's just really important to me for young people to have hope and to see that they can overcome their challenges.
Sure. And what type of work does So What Foundation, what type of work are you doing?
So through the So What Foundation, we have programs for youth. We have summer camp, we have ongoing mentorship, and specifically it's called the Step Out program, and it stands for self-esteem, teamwork, exposure, personal development, overcome, understand, and triumph. And so through our work, that's what we help our young people to do. And again, it's a summer camp, we have ongoing mentorship, and we have a Washington, D.C. exposure trip that we take our kids on. Why they go to Washington, D.C. is because in my memoir, which I published, now it's been 14 years ago, in 2010, I talk about my very first flight, which was to Washington, D.C., and I was pregnant. I was 15 and pregnant, and that was my first flight with my best friend and her mom. And my son's first flight was to Washington, D.C. And so we take our kids to Washington, D.C. so that they can read see some of the things they read about in the book, because they go through my curriculum. I have a literacy, life skills, and character education curriculum that's in a lot of schools throughout the country. And so the kids in our program, the youth in our program, go through that curriculum. They read my book. And so we want to show them, we pay for a flight, we take them to Washington, D.C., and we show them the things that they read about in the book. And then all the new things that are in Washington, D.C. now, like the African American History Museum. We take them to the National Mall. But the point of the trip is to show them they can go places, they can do things, and they can see the world. And because a lot of young people don't get the opportunity to sometimes even leave their neighborhoods, right? And so we want to show them that anything is possible. They can go places, they can do things. And so that's what we have with the So What Foundation, is the Step Out program, where exposure is a key element of it, and just showing them all the things that they can do and become.
I love that. I love the connection to, the past, connection to history, and then, visualization. You're bringing these to life, taking trips for the first time, or, some people have never left their city,
Yep.
And so I think that's remarkable in the work that you're doing, and I think about, like, in today's fast-paced world, we're struggling to maintain connections, but a lot of us have elders right there, So what advice do you give to anyone watching that wants to foster meaningful relationships with the older generations in their lives?
I think that in a lot of situations, we overthink things. It's simple. Just talk to them. Just talk to them. Just talk to them. Ask some questions. So I think the best way is to just be curious. Just to be curious. And I think that's why I have these relationships with my grandmothers, and not just my grandmothers. There are lots of older people that I have great relationships with, other grandmother figures in my life. It's because I'm curious. I want to know about their lives. They once were young people. They once were my age. They once experienced a lot of the things that I've experienced, and they've experienced things I've never experienced. And so I've always just been curious. And so that's where I would start, is just talk to people, ask questions about their lives, and not just older people, but anybody. Be curious about other people in their lives, not nosy, but curious. It's like, how did you deal with this? And what are some of the things that you've experienced in your life? And the same questions that you're even asking me, right? What lessons would you give? Ask them those questions. How did you live to be so long? Or what were some of your secrets? And how did you get through your relationships? Just be curious. These are people with real lives and real stories and, amazing experiences. Just talk to people and ask questions and just be curious.
Sure. What's one lesson from one of your grandmothers that stayed with you that has changed your outlook on life?
So I have 100. I have 100. Let's see. I'm looking here that I just choose one real quick. I think this is a good one. It's care for others. It's to care for others. And so I think we live in a world where a lot of us are selfish, right? A lot of us are selfish, and I think there is a place for selfish, because another one of the lessons is about self-care. But I think that caring for others, and both of them were caregivers, even in careers. Both of them were mothers, and so they cared for their children, and then they cared for the community. And so that has really lived in me, and I think that's why I do what I do now. I had a corporate career for about 15 years, and after I wrote my memoir and people started asking me to speak, and I became a speaker, what it showed me and what made me quit my job, I had a good job, a good corporate job, was that I saw that I could speak and I could share my story, I could share my journey, and it could help other people with their lives. And so everything about my life since 2013 is when I became a full-time entrepreneur, has been about caring for other people and trying to say and do things to help somebody else. And so I think that, care for others is probably one of the best lessons that has stuck with me.
What a selfless journey you've been on, which is really amazing.
Thank you.
It's a career that, has others in mind, that, makes other people better versions of themselves. And I think that's really commendable.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, I got some lightning round questions for you before we wrap today. What's your favorite book of all time?
Ooh, my favorite book. So I'm looking at my bookshelf over there. I have so many books. I think honestly, one of the best ones now that I'm an entrepreneur and I read it every year is called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Because it's about mindset and it's not just about getting money. But I am on a quest to earn money. I think most of us are, because of the lesson that I said that I really got is caring for others. I want to build wealth to care for others, my children, my grandchildren, and to continue to do and give back. So just as a quick answer, probably that one.
Get to know Elyscia Jefferson. A talented singer-songwriter, contestant on season 25 of NBC's hit show The Voice, and the opening act for the R&B Money Tour. Elyscia Jefferson, welcome to the Chundria show. How are you today?
I am doing amazing. First of all, thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here. It's a beautiful show. And
yes, you are doing amazing. Okay, I'm excited to dive in and chat with you today. Tell me about your experience being a contestant on The Voice.
Oh my gosh, being a contestant on The Voice has been just a crazy, mind-blowing experience. I mean, in every single way, like to be there in LA, to be on that stage and, you know, just to have that moment and know, wow, like you're doing the steps that is needed to take to get to that place. So honestly, it was very overwhelming. It was mind-blowing and it was beautiful. I met so many people, meeting the coaches, like getting to talk to Chance, John Legend, Reba, like it was absolutely insane. So I do not take it for granted for a moment. It was an amazing experience.
I'm so proud of you for taking the chance. You know, I mean, sometimes it feels like a 1 in a trillion chance. You know, so many hopefuls, so many people want the opportunity, and not only did you get there, but you showed up and you showed out. You know, how has this opportunity impacted your musical journey and shaped you as an artist?
Ooh, honestly, how this experience impacted me. Honestly, in every single way. Like, I feel like just to see that side of the industry and seeing how it works was really a big impact for me. When it comes down to the wardrobe, to the styling, to how you have to look on TV, how you have to talk on TV, the interviews, all that type of stuff. So it really did open me up in that way to see like, okay, these are how things work in the industry, you know, like you got to be on it, you got to be on your A game, and you know, it's TV. So yeah, that was a big impact for me. And then just honestly, having faith was really a big impact for me in this experience. Like to know that you just have to have faith, you have to keep going and take chances to even get to certain opportunities that you may think you would never get to, you know? So I feel like that was really a big impact for me as well when it came to being on The Voice. Like, wow, just keep on pushing, you know, keep on striving for it, keep on reaching for it. And third, it kind of just showed me like, you got to go hard, you know, like you're in a competition right now. And most of the time, you know, in life, I don't look at things as a competition way. I like to very much go with the flow. But if you want to, you know, put yourself at a certain level and at a certain quota, I guess, you have to really work yourself to that standard, you know? So I feel like that's another thing that it taught me, to just, you know, really work hard to become your best self. And yeah, like go for what you want, be ahead of the game, and try to, you know, be as good as you can. So that was another thing that it taught me, you know, being in a competition and all, but in general. So yeah.
You know, I believe thoughts become things, and I love that you kind of have that visionary mindset, that you're positive. You know, you see where you want to go, and you do the work. Because we could dream all day, like I want to be a millionaire, but if you don't do the work, you know, to get there. So not only do you have the faith, not only do you have the mindset, but then you put in the work. So then when you get the rewards, when you get the benefits, and you get the opportunities to be on a national television competition show, you know, it's like it solidifies the fact that you are right where you belong. So I commend you on taking those steps to be there. Now it has led you to opening up for renowned artists Tank, Carrie Hilson, and Carl Thomas on the current R&B Money Tour. I know that was an incredible experience. What are some key lessons you've learned so far sharing the stage with those musicians?
Woo! Listen, being on that stage with them, like, I mean, heavy hitters in the industry. Because we all know we love us some Tank, we love us some Carrie Hilson, some Carl Thomas. We love it. So being on the stage with them really just taught me, like, this is how it's gonna be when you want to be an artist. Like, the show was so well put together. It was beautiful. And just to be on that stage and see all those people out in the crowd and hearing them sing my song, like teaching it to them and just hearing that, it's like, wow, this is what it means to be an artist, to connect with people in the crowd and make it a good show, make it feel good, no matter how many people, and it's just you on that stage and the feel good music that you got behind you, so that's really what it taught me, how to be an artist. And then Tank and everybody, they were so nice, so talented. I mean, the show was just incredible. So it was awesome. It taught me a lot, and just artistry and connecting and just, this is your passion. This is what you want to do. This is what it takes to be an artist, and how it's going to go, how it's going to happen. So it was awesome. Like, wow, to be there, like really, once again, to be there, like I'm taking the right steps, so.
Yes, you are, and you're proving it every single day. How was your upbringing? What were your influences? How did you get into music? How did this become your love, your passion?
Oh man. Okay, so I technically grew up around music. Like, I mean, since I was out of the womb, I could not escape it. Music was there, like it was no way it was leaving me, My dad is a musician. So he plays piano. He's also a producer. And growing up in Baltimore, he had a studio in our basement. Like, I mean, literally like right in the house. Everybody's coming through. They going straight to the basement. They go into that studio, okay? And I would be downstairs whenever people was working in the studio. So I would just hear music day and night. And I loved it. Like, it just gravitated to me in a way. So I would just be singing all the time, coming up to the door, trying to listen, like, what they working on? What's that right there? Like, I'll hear all the unreleased. And I feel like that was really a big impact, just seeing my dad work through his passion in music, because he's an entrepreneur and music is what he does full time, and it's just really been a thing that's been inspiring to me, something that I gravitate to. And I grew up in church, okay? If you grew up in church, you know what's going on in church. They shouting, they doing hallelujah, like all that 24/7. It's music going on. And my grandfather was the pastor of our home church. So every Sunday I had to go to church, and I was just hearing music and just hearing the feeling that it was giving me, It's really all about the feeling for me, and the feeling that music has gave me has just been something that I could not run away from since a kid. So I don't know. I feel like I was just meant to do it, I guess. It's like, nah, but yeah, that's really how music became a thing for me.
I would say you are definitely meant to do it. Tell me about your musical style. Like, it's captivating, it's unique. You grew up with, if you grew up in the church, then your dad is a musician. A lot of times for people in a similar situation, you would kind of mimic what you heard, like that their style would become yours, but you didn't do that. You kind of developed your own thing. So tell me about that thing, your style and the way you present music.
Honestly, I feel like when it comes to my style of music, I really have like grown up from what I've been hearing around me. I've incorporated it into my own style, but also still have that stuff that I grew up on. So my music is very like soulful, but a little bit gospel-y. But then you also have that pop and R&B, because I love pop. I love R&B. I really just love all music, and I feel like when you have that mixture of all of them in my music, and if you ever if anybody listens to my music, they will hear the different incorporated sounds and styles of oh, okay, wow, I can hear a little bit of the gospel in that. I can hear a little bit of the pop right here, So that's really just my style. I like to mix things up. I like to, incorporate different genres, and I mean any type of genre, as long as it feels good. And I feel like soul, pop, R&B, those are just feel good things. And yeah, that would be my style. Really just that feel good soul, R&B, pop, and stuff that I grew up listening to, all incorporated, mixed up together. So yeah.
So how do you approach your songwriting process? Do you have to feel? Do you have to be inspired? Is a bird flying in the air, inspire? Like, how do you, is it your relationships? Like, what is it that inspires you when you're writing?
What inspires me when I'm writing, honestly, it could be anything. Like if I really, really get an idea, it'll come out of nowhere. And it's like, okay, I need to like write this down. I need to voice memo it wherever I'm at. Like, I don't care if I'm in the car. I don't care if I'm walking down the street. I'm in like a gig backstage. I have to get it down because whenever something just pops up in my head, it's like, okay, this is going to be a good song. And that's what I'm starting to piece together when it comes to me. But I really get inspiration from just life experiences. And I feel like my imagination as well. Like, it was one time I was walking in the city of DC and I was just looking in the windows of people eating their food and like they're having their own mini conversations right now, just like observing life, really is what gives me inspiration. Like, oh, wow, they have their own story right now. And I wonder what their story is. So when I take inspiration from that and I kind of just like write stories, that's my imagination part that comes into play. I write stories. I just let my imagination run wild. And, it may relate to somebody because it's a real life story, So that's really what I gain inspiration from life, from people that I see around me. And I just add a little bit of my imagination into it and boom, we got a song, So that's how I write.
Now I have some lightning round questions for you. Are you ready?
Oh shoot, okay.
What's your first one? If you could collaborate with any artist, past or present, who would it be?
Ooh, okay. I would absolutely love to collaborate with Michael Jackson. I feel like is like number one. Like, is Michael Jackson, And his like mind when it comes to making music is just crazy. And can I give like one more though? Like for the president, one more. Okay, Lucky Day. I'm gonna leave it at that. Lucky Day. Have to.
Enough said. Got it. Next one. What's the most memorable concert you've ever attended as a fan?
Ooh, my most memorable concert. Honestly, I would say low key, the Take Show was super memorable to me. And I'm not just saying that just because like I was there and performed. No, that concert was really, really good. But if I'm going to give it to like all time, definitely Beyonce. I went to go see her like 2017, 2016 Formation Tour. No, Lemonade Tour. Oh my God. Crazy. That was like really did something to me as a kid. So yeah.
Are you an early bird or a night owl?
I could be both. Lately, I've been an early bird. Like, it's like, all right, it's time to get up 6:30, 6 a.m. Like, we up there. We up.
Come with me. I'm headed down the right path. I feel so brave. My head held high and I'm showing class. Dreams ignited. Every day I truly give my best. I'm thriving excitedly to be the very best version of myself. I'm so bold and I'm